we have completed about our pragmatic software metrics, some of the good characteristics of a good metric, you can say, that we have discussed in last class. So in this class we have to start with metric automation. Metric automation is about we want to automate the software matrices, and how we can do that. Basically, what is the purpose of utilizing matrices? To evaluate the progress of the project. That is the main purpose over here. And that purpose, how we can resolve. If we will have a dashboard in front of our eyes that will show us the progress of the complete project, that will be beneficial to us. So how that dashboard or a control panel will be visible? The purpose here is of that only. The motto here is to provide that kind of dashboard to the user, where the user can see how much progress has been made and how much is still pending to do. That is the purpose. So this one, metric automation, has this idea of SPCP, Software Project Control Panel. This SPCP is basically a dashboard only, which will represent the complete situation of the project, you can say. And for managing against this plan, this SPCP maintains an online version of the status of the artifacts. Concept was recommended by an organization of Yearly Software Council, and it is also called as dashboard, as I told to you. Okay, so these are the things that you have to remember. Software, like you can say, you can also imagine it in a way that the software manager wants to see a display with overall project values. Test manager want to display focused on metric specific related to beta release, and development managers may be interested only in data concerning the subsystems or components. So for every one of them, for every user, there will be a separate panel, and they can choose what they want to visualize. So that is called as SPCP, Software Project Control Panel, that you have to remember. Okay, so SPCP, this panel can support standard features and provide extensive capability for the detailed situation analysis. It is one example of metric automation, which collects, organizes, report values and trends extracted directly from the evolving engineering artifacts. That is called as simply SPCP. So if you are having any doubt related to this one, because we have discussed this thing earlier also, then please unmute yourself and discuss with me. Any one of you. Nothing? Okay then. Then let us see more about this SPCP. To implement this complete SPCP, what things are necessary? So obviously a graphical user interface is required, first thing, in which a GUI support for software project manager, flexibility to support other roles, that thing will come up. Then a metric collection agents, by utilizing which data extraction will be there. Data management server, where the extracted data will be stored, server is utilized for that purpose. Then metrics definitions, in which the presentations for requirement progress, implementation progress, assessment progress, design progress, other dimensions of the project, those things will be mentioned in our metric definitions. Then most important one of them is our actors. There are two actors in this SPCP. First one is monitor, second one is administrator. So this monitor is nothing but the panel layouts, different panels for different people, and administrator is the one who will take care of the complete administration of the project, who will have the authority to define new mechanisms, any new objects, linkages, any other functions, compositions, decompositions. Okay, so that is administrator, and monitor is panel layout. Panel layout for the manager, for the developer, those things will be there. So just give me a second. I'll get back to you. Next is monitor. So monitors, for whom monitors will be displayed? Monitor means your panel layouts. Panel layouts will be for your, you can say, your software architects, customers, team leaders, managers. For all of them, there will be separate panel layouts. That is called as monitor. Okay, so I hope this point is clear to you all. What is SPCP and what are some important parameters related to SPCP? What things are involved in SPCP? How to implement SPCP basically, that we have just discussed. So monitors is also called as roles and responsibilities that we give. So that roles of organization will be coming under your monitors. Complete display will be called as a panel, in which the display of different charts in the form of progress, which is showing trends with respect to time, pie charts, tabular formats, all these things will be presented in that SPCP dashboard. So I hope you got this clarity of SPCP, what is SPCP, how it works, and what are two important actors of SPCP. So till now, if you are having any doubt, please let me know. Next, next portion is this one that we have to cover. So there are some basic fundamental metrics classes are trend, comparison, and progress. So here there are some steps that the users has to follow while utilizing this SPCP. Okay, what are these steps that we have to know? And from this portion, question can come up separately. Okay, let us see these steps one by one. So first one is start the SPCP. Start the SPCP means the SPCP starts and shows the most current information, the present information that was saved by the user when it was utilized last. Okay, with the panel. So the last saved information will be displayed first whenever the user will uh, log into the dashboard, you can say. Okay. Second one, select a panel preference. Panel preference means the user who is utilizing this SPCP, he has to give this preference, which panel layout he wants to be displayed, and in that one actually the authorization has been given to the different users according to which they have to log in. Okay, so that is the purpose over here. So here user selects from the list of default panel preferences from which he will select one. Then the layout will be displayed to the user. So I think that is clear. Then next one is select a value or graph metric. So here what the user will do, the user selects whether the metric should be displayed for a given point in time or in a graph as a trend. He wants the values to be displayed, or he wants the trends to be displayed in the form of graphs or pie charts. That is the purpose over here. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, next one. Then select to superimpose controls. So the here what will happen, the user points to a graphical object and requests the control values for the metric, and here the controls are shown superimposed with the metric. Basically, what are the things that user can change or manipulate, or what are the things that user only can read, those things will be shown to the user. So that is being given over here. Next, drill down to trend. So here the user will drills down to view the trend for the metric. Trend means it will show that this kind of progress with respect to time, how the value is responding. This kind of trend that is shown over here in this graph. Okay, so this is called as a trend. Then drill down to point in time. At a particular time, he wants to see, to view the you can say the values of the metrics at particular point of time. That is drill down to point in time. Then next one, drill down to lower levels of information. That is next level of information related to the thing that user is interested in. Okay, so that is the thing over here. Then next one, lower level of indicators. So lower level of indicators means break down the next level of indicators, how you are going to represent the next values which will indicate the information of interest of the user. That is the purpose. Okay, so that is the thing. Any doubt, please let me know. And yes, this diagram that you are watching right now, which is showing a comparison between time and a metric value. Here the minimum threshold has been shown, and this upper line, this graph has been cut down. This upper line is the upper threshold, the maximum threshold, and your values, the actual progress, has been shown by the dark line. So between these threshold values, whether our project is performing okay or not, to check out the balance, for that purpose this graph has been shown. So in this is just one example of SPCP representation in which we can represent in the form of graph metrics, you can say. Okay, so that is the thing. I hope you understood this point. Please let me know if you have not got any point of it. So there are three things basically we have discussed about SPCP. What is SPCP? What are important elements of SPCP? How to implement SPCP? And then what is the process to work with SPCP? That's it. Okay. Okay then. So next one is CCPDSR case study. So about this case study, before starting it, because we have already covered it and this is your revision part, you should have some idea about it little bit, at least when we have discussed about. In between, if you are having any doubts, please let me know. Any concerns related to previous unit questions also, topics also, please let me know that. Now about the CCPDSR case study. What is this? CCPDSR case study is about a missile warning system. First thing. So before explaining this diagram to you, let us see the basic introduction to it. Okay, what is CCPDSR? And any one of you, please confirm that my slide is visible to you. In between, sometimes it happens, no? Suyash? Suyash, Vikas?
Yes,
Anyone?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Vikas, it's visible?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so what is the CCPDSR? CCPDSR basically was a project which was being taken by US Air Force. In very simple terms, if I have to make you understand, and it was a very large project which happened from 1987 to 1994. Okay, so it was a very large project which took a very big budget also, and it was of you can say why we are studying this case study in your subject. The purpose is to make you understand that this big project uh, was successful because the management techniques of the development of the project was very good, and they have followed all the important things which was required, and time to time testing was also happened. So just to make you understand that how big projects, they can take long time in between. The team members who are working on the projects, they can leave the organization also, some new people can join the organization also, but it should not affect the project. So just to make you understand that how project happens in organizations, this case study has been presented in your syllabus. So let us see. The abbreviation is given as CCPDSR. What is the full form? Full form is Command Center Processing and Display System. R represents replacement. It was basically about providing a missile warning system to the Air Force. Okay, it was about a missile warning system. That means the main part was to develop that warning system related to missiles. Okay, loading the missile, okay, releasing the missile. That complete warning system has to be prepared. Entire project included your systems engineering, hardware procurement, software development, with each of these three major activities consuming about 1/3 of the total budget. And the first subsystem was developed with these things. That means the basic common subsystem was the first subsystem of this case study, which took maximum of the budget also, maximum of the time also, you can say. Okay, and we will get to know in context of our life cycle model of the software project management. We will relate things of this project with that life cycle model. There also you will get to understand little more about it, how it went on, and how things can take a lot of time. Projects are not just about that if you are aware about implementation and it's done. No, projects are all about your designing portion also, your requirement gathering portion also, finalizing the contract also, remaining on budget, on time also. These all things are very much important for the organizations. Okay, so this thing I've already told you. The schedule spanned 1987 through 1994. And objective case study is a true indicator of mature organization and a mature project process. So mature organization and a mature project process, when these kind of terms comes up, you should have this idea. Mature organization means, about them we have studied in first unit. What are mature organization? How organizations get mature level by level? What are those 5 levels? So you should have all these ideas in your mind whenever these terms comes up. Software industry needs more case studies like CCPDSR. Okay, obviously there are more out there, but the book that we are following and the syllabus that JNTU has prescribed, it has the CCPDSR case study. That's why we are covering it up. If we will have more time, we will study more about other case studies. Okay, now before discussing these 2 points, let us see 3 subsystems of CCPDSR that I want to cover up first. Then we will go on other things. Yes, these three subsystems were there. CCPDSR contract called the development of three subsystems. First subsystem, okay, I don't know whether slide has changed for you people or not. Please confirm to me you are able to see my slide number 84. Suyash? Vikas?
Yes, ma'am. There is no slide number 84.
Uh, okay, wait, let me share the screen again then. Okay, if these kind of things happen in between, please tell me without even like I have to take lead to ask you these things. Okay, but you have to tell me these things by yourself. That is very important. Otherwise, I will kept on talking and I will not get any response. Then that is of no use now. Now you are able to see CCPDSR contract called for the development of three subsystems.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Vikas?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, see, these three subsystems were there. First one was common subsystem. Common subsystem was primary missile warning system. As I told you, the first part and the main part of the contract and the project was of this missile warning system. Okay, and it took nearly 3.5 lakh source lines of code. So you can imagine how big that part was. Okay, obviously lines of code means size of the program. Yes, source lines of code. And it took 48 months in completion. So obviously the maximum time taken by the first system, first subsystem of the project, and it was common subsystem, which was primary missile warning system. Okay. Second subsystem was of PDS, processing and display subsystem, PDS. This is very important part from your exams perspective. Either they can ask you to write about CCPDSR case study directly, or separately they can ask you discuss about subsystems of CCPDSR project, or they can ask you about some significance of CCPDSR. Those kind of questions can come. So you have to be ready to answer in all the forms. So second subsystem was processing and display subsystem, which was scaled down missile warning display system for nuclear capable commander in chief. So it was being developed, this part was especially made for nuclear part. Okay, and it took nearly 2.5 lakhs lines of code. So it was also not a small program. Okay, it was also a very big part of the project. Okay, then Stratcom subsystem. Along with the missile warning, the project provided force management capability. We can manage our forces, how to manage things, resources. So that part was also being provided by the CCPDSR project. And it took nearly 4.5 lakh lines of code. So I think the size of this part was much bigger than the first subsystem, but it took less time in completion than this one. Okay, maximum time was taken by common subsystem, first one. So these three subsystems you have to remember. These figures also you have to remember, at least nearby values, nearly 3 lakhs, nearly 2 lakhs, nearly 4 lakhs. In that way you have to remember things. Okay, and these are not that much to remember. You don't have to cram things, just to understand. There were three subsystems. First part took 48 months. Second part, it has not mentioned over here. This part took 12 months for the completion. Okay, so in this way you have to remember these things. So these three subsystems I had to tell you. And now next important thing about CCPDSR, I am going on the back slide that I have left in between, which I had to discuss with you this one. We have to interpret our project of CCPDSR in context of life cycle, software development life cycle. Now till now I have repeatedly tell you 4 phases of life cycle. What are those phases? Inception, elaboration, construction, transition. These 4 phases are of software project management. Now here in context of CCPDSR, what we have to do, we have to relate the project portion with these 4 phases. Construction transition phase has been combined in this diagram, and I will make you understand what phases of project relates to this software development life cycle. In this way we have to understand, and separately this question can come up in your exam. They can ask you relate your CCPDSR project with the software development life cycle. Okay, then you have to explain things, how they relate, which phase is similar to which phase of life cycle of the software development. In that way you have to explain. So let us understand. We'll because we are having more 2 minutes, then I will give you introduction about it, about the 2 phases. So basic part, very simple part to make you understand. There are 2 main phases of CCPDSR project development. First was of competitive design phase. Competitive design phase, it is written over here, competitive design phase. And second part was, from this portion to this portion, was full scale development. These 2 phases were there. Okay, and these 2 only we have to relate over here. First portion of competitive design phase was much more like your inception phase of software development life cycle. Much more like the inception phase. Full scale development was more related to elaboration and construction phase. And transition is about deployment. Deployment is nothing but release a project after completion of the things. Everything is completed. Now you are delivering the complete project. So these 2 phases you have to remember for sure about CCPDSR. Competitive design phase, first one. Full scale development, second one. Competitive design phase relates more to inception phase. Okay, some preliminary prototype planning, architectural prototypes, planning for the things, contract finalization. That's why after completion of inception, contract award has been done between the developer and the buyer. Requirement analysis part. So these things only happen during inception phase, and these things only happened during competitive design phase of CCPDSR. I hope you got this point. Please let me know if you are having any doubt related to this one. Okay. Okay, no response again. Okay then, no problem. So we are on time exactly. So, and second one was full scale development. Full scale development is about your elaboration and construction phase. Elaboration and construction is about your different parameters which came in the form of milestones which were being completed time to time. Okay, so these are some things that we have to remember related to this one. And with this note, I'm completing today's session.